Hi, welcome to Horario. This is the second session of Information and Communication Technology for class 10. So, today we will be dealing about Inkscape software. In the last session, we have seen how to open Inkscape software, and we have came to know what all toolbars and menu bars are there. Now, in this session, we will be understanding how many and what all Inkscape tools Inkscapes have. Okay, so let us go. So let us run our open applications, graphics, and here we have Inkscape vector graphics editor. So here is the window. As I said in the last class, here we have our menu bar, here is our toolbar, and here is our toolbox, and here is our color palette, and here is our page border. Okay, so now let us see our first tool. The first tool is select and transform. The select tools allows you to activate, move, rotate, shear and scale scale single or multiple objects at a time. Okay, now let us go to our Inkscape. Here I have a circle tool, and here I have drawn another square. So this is the select tool. Here I am using the select tool to click and select, and when you click an object and select it, you may see a lot of anchor points, arrow marks, double sided arrow marks at each of the corners. So when you click and drag, it will resize. Okay, so if you drag this side, it will increase its height. If you drag this side, it will increase its width. If you drag on the corner, it will resize. Okay, so same as any object. Okay, now let us try to rotate this. When you select an object, it will be in the select and transform mode. You inside that object, you are going to click again. So then this double arrow mark will be changed into rotate mode. So you can click here and try to rotate that image. Okay, so here also click inside and rotate. So this is the select and transform tool. The next tool is edit path by nodes. The edit path by node tool allows you to alter the properties of a vector object relative to its coordinates on the x or y axis. Editable properties include node or coordinate points and line. Actually, this tool is not that much used for us, even though this is a very useful tool. You can see the use of this right here. Okay, now let us go to the next tool. The tweak object tool allows you to make compound alteration to multiple objects, path and colors at a time. Alteration include moving multiple objects at once, shrinking, rotating or duplicating them. It also allows you to make adjustment based on colors and blurs. Okay, so this tool as seen in the animation that I have prepared, it allows you to make compound alteration, like to move bulk objects at a time in a pattern that we can use tweak objects. So the next is zoom tool. Everybody knows what a zoom tool is used for. The zoom tool allows you to increase or decrease your view of the canvas. You can zoom in to see fine details, zoom out to get a complete view of the canvas, or set the view 1:1 in order to see how the canvas looks at full size. The next tool is measurement tools. The measurement tool allows you to assess the length, width, height, radius or diameter of specific objects in the following units of measurement, that is pixels, millimeters, points, inches and centimeters. Okay. The next tool is squares and rectangles that we have seen right now. The squares and rectangle tool is used to create any four-sided vector objects including squares and rectangles. This tool allows you to create rectangles, either perfect right angle corner or rounded corners to varying degrees. So this tool is somewhat more used, so we'll have a look at this tool. So I am select tool, I am deleting all the previous images. Now here this is the create rectangles and squares tool. So I am clicking and dragging. Here I get a rectangle. See, pretty easy. Click and drag. Now I have 3. I use select tool to move. I can transform. So all these are rectangles. What if I have to draw a square? So I am selecting this tool. See, while drawing I am holding my control button down, so I get a perfect square. Okay, this is a square and this is a rectangle. Okay, and if I try to transform, it will. So while holding the control button down and transforming, it will always, a shape will always preserve its proportionality of width to height. You know what I mean? I will show you with an example. Here I select a color and I am drawing a. If I without holding any buttons, if I transform, this will get distorted because the height to width ratio will not be the same. If I hold down control button and drag, the height to width ratio will be preserved. Okay, so this is create rectangles and squares tool. The next tool is 3D boxes tool. The 3D boxes tool allows you to quickly create three-sided vector boxes that appear as if they are three-dimensional. The X, Y and Z axis can be adjusted independently in order to determine the box height, width and depth. So this is just a tool that gives us an introduction to 3D editing. We can configure ourselves the X, Y and Z axis. Okay. So the next tool is another most used tool in Inkscape, circle, ellipses and arcs. The circle, ellipses and arc tool can be used to create vector objects with curved edges, including circles and ellipses. The tool also allows you to create partial ellipses in pie chart style. Okay, let us go and have a look at what this tool is about. Here this is our create circle, ellipse and arcs. Okay, now I select a color. I can create an ellipse or a circle. You know how to create a perfect circle? Hold the control button down, so the height to width ratio will be always the same. Okay, and this is how to create a circle. Suppose we don't want a full circle, we only want a complete we don't want a complete circle, we only want a part of it. So here in the toolbar there is an option to start and end. I am setting the start as 0 and end as 180. So what happens? Suppose I decrease this, see, this is the angle 0 to 360. I am decreasing this, so it changes to a semicircle. Semicircle means only a portion of it. If I set it to 0 to 180, it will give a semicircle. Okay. Suppose I want to flip it. See, this is how we create a semicircle. Or instead of flipping, I can also give this. Instead of 0 to 180, I can give 180 to 0. Okay, now we get a semicircle. Okay, now let's go to our next tool. Our next tool is stars and polygon. The stars and polygon tools allows you to create both stars and polygons. When creating stars, you will be able to determine the number of corners of the star has, the spoke ratio between each star, or you can give your star rounder corners as well. When creating polygons, you will be able to determine the number of sides or corners, and you can choose to make them rounded if you'd like. Okay, so this is a tool that you can practice yourself. Okay, let us go to our next tool. It is spirals. The spiral tool is used to create vector path that follows a spiral trajectory. The tool allows you to adjust the number of turns the spiral has, as well as its divergence from its center point. Okay, let us go to our next tool. Draw freehand lines. This tool is used to draw vector paths that follow a trajectory of your hand movements. Suppose we have a touch screen or we have a graphic pen, or we can draw even with our mouse. Okay, let us see what this tool is about. I am deleting this. This is draw freehand lines. Here I can draw. See, it follows my path. Okay, I am using the select tool to remove all this. Okay, the next tool is Bezier Pen. The Bezier Pen is used to create vector path by creating a series of individual points known as nodes. The paths can have straight, edged, or curved edges. So this tool is just like a freehand tool, but it is used to create paths. Let us see. Here I have my Bezier tool. I click on the starting point, then I can go to any point. Like I am clicking. See, here I get a shape. Okay, and I can fill my color. This is the Bezier tool used for. Okay, now let's go to our next tool. Draw calligraphic or brush strokes. The draw calligraphy or brush stroke tool allows you to create freehand vector objects using a classic brush stroke or the shape you are choosing. So this is more like a brush tool that we have seen before in the gym. So I'll show you. Let me delete this, and here is our calligraphic. So see, this is the calligraphy tool. You can create any path or objects with it. Okay, Now let us go to our next tool, text object. This is the most used tool in Inkscape. The text object tool is used to create vector text of wording of your choosing. It allows you to flow your text into a bounding box or simply generate it all on that line. You can also adjust the font size, orientation, spacing between letters and words, as well as various other adjustments. Okay, I don't think I have to show a demo of the text object tools. So let us continue about spray objects. The spray object tool allows you to generate vector objects by spraying them onto a canvas based on a shape that you are choosing. So this is another fancy tool that we use in Inkscape. You can see how the works of it by the animation given here. So this tool is erase existing path. This is the logo of icon of this tool. The erase tool is used to delete segments of a vector path in a freestyle technique that is based on the trajectory of your hand movement. Okay, so suppose you have a shape like this is star and you use this tool to remove a trajectory of your hand. It's a freehand brush tool but also an eraser. Okay, so fill bounded areas. One difference between GIMP and this Inkscape is that you are able to give, this is a fill bucket tool, fill bounded area tool. You are able to give colors on empty spaces in GIMP but not possible in Inkscape, because the color tool can only fill inside a bounded area. Suppose, see, this I am using my freehand tool. This is a bounded, okay, and this is unbounded. I believe you know the differences. This shape is closed and this shape is open. Okay, so I cannot fill a color in this unbounded area, but I can fill color in this bounded area. Okay, and it does not have to be necessarily one shape. Like I have this here, I have one square here and I have another square here. If I want to fill the color in between this area, I can give, see, I fill yellow. Okay, so that is the use of fill bounded area tools. Commonly known as the bucket fill tool, allows you to fill empty spaces with a predetermined fill color. In order for the tool to work, the area you are filling must be completely surrounded by a closed path. It will not work on empty spaces that bleed out into the open canvas. Okay, so let us go to our next tool, that is create and edit gradients. This is the icon. So the create and edit gradient tool allows you to give vector objects multiple colors that fade into each other, otherwise known as gradients. This tool also allows you to edit the gradients based on the colors used, number of colors and the position of the colors relative to the object the gradient is being applied to. The gradients can follow either a linear, straight or radial, means rounded path. Here in the animation you can see, and I believe you know what gradients are because you used that in the class 9 in GIMP. And the next tool is mesh tool. The mesh is somewhat like the gradient tool, but the mesh tool follows a grid or a cone shape because it's a mesh, either mesh or conical. So the main use of this mesh tool is to give a 3D lighting effect for the shape that we draw. Here you can see in the animation. Okay. The next tool is our dropper tool, pick color from image. The pick colors from image tool, commonly referred to as the dropper, allows you to set an object's fill and stroke color based on another object color. This tool allows you to sample colors from both vector and raster images. The use of this tool is that we know here we have our color palette. Okay. So there are many colors given here. Even there is a scroll bar, there are many colors. Okay. Suppose we want a color other than this that we have somewhere. Suppose I want to select this color and fill it in this yellow space. Okay, I want to select this green and fill in the yellow space, but I can't find that specified green in my palette. So I use my eyedropper tool and click there. Okay, if I click here, it will be red, the same color, white, purple. See, the pick color from image tool, commonly referred as the dropper, allows you to set an image object's fill and stroke color based on another object's color. The tool allows you to sample colors from both vector and raster images. Okay, so the next tool is diagram connectors tool. We can create diagrams using Inkscape. Here I have given a small animation. So the diagram connector tool allows you to create diagrams by generating path and boxes that link objects together. Okay. Well, let wind it up for this session. In this session, we have seen the uses of all the tools in Inkscape vector image editor. So I hope you try all those tools to understand what all are they used for. So if you have any suggestions or doubts, leave in the comment section. Thank you.